This model kit review is of the Revell F-15 Eagle, and this is a very difficult model, it looks like. It's a 1/32nd scale, and it shows us the finished product here. Looks like there's a lot of detail here. Another picture of the finished model, and some other pictures here. 60 centimeters in length, so it's a very large model. This model actually I have already started and done some work on. So here's the cockpit, and the cockpit has a lot of surface detail here, and we'll need to go and look for our ejection seats. Here we have our decals. Looks like someone's already taken off some of them. We may need to purchase some additional ones. One decal here missing. Otherwise a fair number of decals, very well printed, but definitely looks like there's some pieces, some decals missing here. So look, here's our canopy. This is very well molded. We do have a mold line right down the middle though, which is disappointing. That'll need to be sanded down and then polished, so that's going to be a fair amount of work. So here's the model that I've already put together. I've already started. As you can see, it's an enormous model, and here's the top of the fuselage. We have all these recessed panel lines. Same thing with the tail and our elevators. We still need to put the exhaust on. I've started to fill these areas here, as the fit was not great for some of these parts. The wings all nicely molded. It shows off the curve of that wing. All recessed panel lines. Here we have the main landing gear bays with some surface detail. There's a fair amount of lines and tubes that are normally there that are not shown. Here's some nice surface detail here for the air intakes. And looking down here, I've already placed the jet turbine intakes, and these are painted white. So the rest will need to get painted white as well. Let's have a look at the remaining sprues. Here's our air brake, and no real surface detail on the other side. Our landing gear. Here's the instrument panel cover, our air brake, sorry, our hook, tail hook. Here we have some missiles, and these are all very nicely molded. No real flashing. Most of these parts I've already removed. Here we have some more weapons. These ones are coming off already, and the rails to hold them. Some of the different bombs. Definitely got a lot of weapons on this model here. Rails looks like probably for a fuel tank, and the other body panel parts. Here we have our wheels, which are very nicely molded. Our covers, wheel well covers. Lots of detail. There is unfortunately some flashing and mold lines there. And this looks like the side of the body panel for the underside. Same with that one. That's the other side there. Fits alongside the body. Over here we have our nose portion of the fuselage. Requires some sanding and trim down there. Very nicely molded details here. Here's the radar, which will go there like that. And we have our nose cone, which has also got some mold lines, need to be sanded down. Here's the back part of the cockpits. Our ejection seat, which is very nicely molded, but there's a lot of detail that can still be added. So I've already painted these and started the weathering process. These are the exhausts here, and they're set to open. And these are the exhausts where they're set to closed. All these flaps are closed. And some of the weapons here. And these are all fairly well molded, easy to put together. Here are our wheels. These are actual rubber wheels, so those are nice. Some of the rails. And here are the engine rears. Another part of the rail for the weapons system. Some of the weapons. Here's the other seat. And here are the instrument panels, which is a fair level of surface detail. Those are quite nice, actually. And the other rails. Let's have a look at our instructions. So, first of all, putting together fuselage, which we've done already. The engine nozzles, those are the two different options, either open or closed. And then the air intake, starting to build the rails, getting ready for the weapon systems. Now you can also add that additional fuel tank along the side that we looked at. And then the cockpits. And let's see, number 5. Putting the cockpit inside of the fuselage from the front, putting that together with the radar. You can leave that open or closed. Okay, the next is landing gear. That's if you want it closed at the top there. The option is to have them down, which obviously I prefer because you can have it stand on their wheels. Main gear, wings going on, that's already been completed. Tails, and then all the different weapons systems here. The gun pod, the remaining weapon systems, putting on the canopy, air brake up or down, the arrestor hook. And then here's our painting guide with decals, not too many decals, so I may end up purchasing an additional decal set for this one. And there are the colors needed. So this is a very complex model, lots of pieces, lots of detail, and still the option to add extra things if you wanted to.